Back to my colleague Tapas Bhattacharya.
Right, Munmun. Right, Munmun, and Pardeshi sir, we were talking about how India has portrayed its soft power. Tell us also, the countries have come, a lot of delegates have come. What is this, sense you are getting? What kind of talks that are happening? Prime Minister spoke today about India being, providing that leadership. How do you see the whole G20 coming up now?
I think we're very happy the way the meeting has started this morning. Yesterday, we had all the leaders who arrived in Delhi. Today, the president of France is arriving. This morning, you saw how our honorable prime minister, he received all leaders individually. There's a personal chemistry between him and most of the leaders that got reflected when he was receiving them. Thereafter, in his opening address, he announced the admission of the African Union as permanent.
That's a huge thing,
A huge thing. As you rightly say, it's a huge thing. So we started with a bang. And so that's, that's a part of our ambition to champion the cause of the global South, admit the African Union as part of the G20 membership, and then have a very outcome-oriented Delhi declaration by the time we close the meeting tomorrow.
So we will talk about Delhi declaration, but India also played a pivotal role in the last Bali declaration also. Do you think that this time also it will be able to bring both the North and the South together, and we will be able to have a proper declaration?
No, hopefully, yes, we are working on the Delhi declaration, and but it will be done in the concluding session. And so, in the beginning, in the opening address, it's the admission of the African Union, and by the time we have the concluding session tomorrow, usually declaration is adopted in the last because we have to allow consultation of leaders.
Consensus is also important.
See what happens, the Sherpas have been working hard on this, and we just had a meeting, 3 days meeting in Manesa. So they have worked on the draft, but the draft bill has to be put across to leaders because it's a leaders summit. So once we have the endorsement of the leaders, it will be adopted in the tomorrow morning session.
So today it's a hectic day where a lot of bilaterals happening. President Biden also came. You just tell us. What are the major takeaways that we can take? Get from this particular G20 in Delhi.
Well, the priorities of India and our presidency is known. We have been focusing on resilient growth. We have been focusing on attainment of sustainable development goals. We're talking about green development, including climate financing. We are speaking about women-led development and the role of digital transformation and the role of digital public infrastructure in economic development. So keeping that in mind, we have set up several exhibits in Bharat Mandapam to showcase digital transformation which India has undergone. So when you visit the Department of the Ministry of IT Digital Experience Zone, you see how digital payment and financial inclusion have been made possible through digital means.
Have you guys got any query from any of the delegate countries or for the matter any other country that they would like to partner India in this kind of digital power growth and digital inclusion?
We have received, and Ministry of INT, the Ministry of IT, I understand from them that there have been several requests for a memorandum of understanding with India to do collaborative programs in the digital sector.
So also, RBI have set up a lot of digital payment booth and all that. So is there any chance that we will be moving towards more financial inclusion or let's say fintech sector in the days to come?
That's a part of the strategy, government's strategy. That's why some of the upcoming things, RBI is also promoting through this digital experience. The things which are in the pipeline, RBI has been kind enough to set up this digital kiosk and share with the world how we are looking ahead.
Like, last question I'd like to ask you, sir. India started the International Solar Alliance, right? could we see something like a biofuel alliance in the days to come by the end of this particular G20? Can we expect something like that?
Most likely. The countries are working towards that objective. Hopefully several initiatives will be announced by the time we conclude our meeting tomorrow.
That's G20 Secretary. That's G20 Secretary. Thank you so much. That's G20 Secretary telling us that in all likelihood we might be having a global biofuel alliance, just like the International Solar Alliance. Back to you, the studio.
Well, thanks, Tapas, for that. And there you heard and saw Muktesh Pardeshi smiling.